Welcome back, everyone. Another episode of Rocket League Decision Making. Today I am here with Puff Chaddy. Puff Chaddy is actually a throwback guest. He comes from Season 1, known as Mikey J. Figbins, recently made the switch to PC. He's a Diamond 1 who has about 350 hours, and he's out here still creating music and playing Rocket League every now and then. Puff Chaddy, I'm going to hate myself for saying that this entire time. How are you?
Hey, doing good, man. How are you doing?
Good. Let's jump into some questions right away. Number one, what is your biggest strength? And I'll tell you, you previously said offense.
It's probably still going to be offense. And I think it's probably just because my rotations haven't gotten any better since the last time we played. So,
okay. Flip side of that then, biggest weakness, that was, in the past, playing too aggressive.
Yep, I would say that's probably still my biggest weakness.
All right, things haven't changed in about 150 hours, I think, give or take. Now, I asked this previously. I want to know if it's changed at all. Do you warm up before you start playing?
I do warm up occasionally before I start playing. Usually I'll just jump in like a free play or something. Just kind of mess around.
Cool. Now, thinking way back to when you started playing Rocket League to now, what is one thing that you wish you knew when you began the game?
Probably just how to rotate better and, and just aerialing in general. If I knew how to do that when I began the game, that'd be great. But yeah, just, I guess, better positioning, really.
All right, Puff Chaddy. Rocket League's been relatively the same for the last 4 or 5 years. Not too much has been changing with it. Is there anything in your mind that they can do to improve the quality of the game?
I think, two things actually. For the console players, I think it'd be great if they can bring like the workshops to the console. I feel like those are kind of helpful, and not only helpful, but I feel like they're pretty fun. Other than that, I think it would be cool if there was a way to check your stats and your profile offline without like actually going into the game. Just like see what ranks you are, maybe see, I don't know, when your rank's going to reset and stuff like that, which I guess is just when the new season starts. But there may be a way to do that already. I just haven't really looked into it, but I think that would be cool.
Okay. I am familiar with something like RL Stat Tracker, which shows some of that information, although I get what you're saying more from Rocket League themselves, kind of, to let you know a little bit more key in-depth stats. Now, I want to talk about style with you. We talked about this previously where you were kind of an attacking mindset, and you've mentioned before that you are aggressive, but how do you like to play? Do you want to be that striker? Do you kind of wish that you played more defensive?
Yeah, I mean, everybody, I feel like everybody likes to play kind of the striker because it can get boring if you're playing back too much. But I guess if you're rotating properly, you should get a pretty good mix of everything. But I'm not as great as rotating as I would like to be. So I tend to play up more. And it kind of depends too. If I'm playing with a teammate who's just like a random or a couple teammates that are just randoms, I should say, and they're just both playing up and not rotating, I'll just tend to kind of hang back since nobody's playing defense. But yeah, it really depends.
Okay. It's no secret in our little friend group here, you've slowed down playing Rocket League for the last few weeks. Different than what I asked before, but what do you think the game could do to pull you back in? Is there anything that the game could make more fun for playing with your friends?
That's a great question. For a while, it was like one of the only games that I played. And I think I just kind of got maybe a little burnt out on the soccer aspect of it. And I've just been playing more kind of action type games and survival games and stuff. But as far as doing anything to make it more exciting, I don't, in my opinion, no. It's just kind of one of those things where you're either like in the mood for it or you're not. But
okay. Let me bounce an idea off of you and we'll kind of see if this would resonate. But what if they removed the solo standard playlist? You're no longer only in a lobby of soloers, and they make that a clubs playlist where now the club rank gets pitted against another club. So that way you can play with friends, super different ranks, but your club has kind of an MMR rank.
I mean, I think that would be awesome. I don't know if it would make me play Rocket League more, but I feel like that would, I mean, if I was playing Rocket League, that would definitely add some benefit for me.
Next question, though. You recently changed from Xbox to PC. What is the biggest change in Rocket League between the two, if there is any at all?
I think just like the smoothness of the game, the overall frames, it just seems way more smoother to me on PC. I feel like I definitely play better on PC though. And of course you have like the workshops and everything as well.
There is definitely some benefits, no doubt about it. Now, I have one more question before we get into the big one. And this one's specifically about you, but you create music, often for this channel. What is the best part of making music?
Probably just, getting an idea in your head and kind of being able to take that idea and shape it into, it's kind of like a drawing, being able to sketch out a small idea and then take that idea and refine it to where it's something that you actually are enjoying. If that makes sense?
Yep. All right. Now, here we are, the penultimate question. You can only choose one: mechanics or positioning.
I'd say positioning is probably more valuable. I would definitely love to be able to bang some ceiling shots, but
10 questions up, 10 questions down. Now it's time for you and I to take a look at some key moments that happened with the game that's going on behind us. Are you ready for those?
yeah, let's do it.
All right, everyone, we are back for part 2 here with Puff Chaddy. Puff Chaddy, are you excited to watch your replay back?
I'm so excited.
Okay. Now, you've done this before. Does that give you a little bit of an easier mind? Like going into this, you might have an idea of what might come.
I think I know. I have a little bit of an idea of like what questions you're going to ask and whatnot.
Okay. Do you feel like there's anything that you made a huge mistake on?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I made a huge mistake on. I'm
Okay.
sure there's plenty.
Perfect. Well, let's jump into number 1 right. I'm totally kidding. But key moment number 1 is right about here. So, teammate's gonna hit this off the wall. That is a lot of white foam right in the middle of the screen. There we go. You're up in the air. You're jumping right here. I want to know what is going through your mind.
I was just thinking I was going to just bang this down into the goal. I don't think that's what happened, but that's what I was trying to do.
Okay. I mean, we'll play it out real
bang
quick.
it down to there. Oh, I totally missed.
So, I mean, obviously, I'm going to assume that's not quite what you were looking for. Is there anything that you would do differently in that situation?
Yeah, I would have aerialed better and hit the ball for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. My takeoff was kind of weird. It was just not what I had wanted to do.
Okay. All right. Key moment number 2. I want to say last time I asked you, if you watch your replays back, you said no. That guy got scared for a little bit of a demo there. You bumped him. You finished that off. But, I mean, do you ever watch any of your replays back?
To be completely honest, I still don't think I've watched any of my replays.
Okay. Then I'll ask, and I mean, Puff Chaddy. Chad, I've known you for a long time. Do you feel like this series, Rocket League decision making, is beneficial for that idea?
Yeah, totally. I mean, since I don't really watch my replays very often, it gives me like kind of an outside perspective of what I'm doing.
All right. Well, here we are setting up for actual key moment number 2. Shade here is about to bang this on target. I want you to tell me what you're thinking here in about 2 seconds. Let's play it out. Here it is. Right there. You're up. You're jumping. What's going through your mind right now?
Yeah, what I was hoping to do was get a touch on it and put it in the corner. I think what I ended up doing was getting a touch on it and centering it.
Mm-hmm.
In retrospect, it looks like I cut this pretty weird. Not really a good place to put it in the corner, but
okay.
That was what my intention was.
Do you have any idea where your teammate is in this situation?
I know you were rotating back. I'm going to assume that you were probably back right corner or maybe just got back to goal.
Okay. All right. I'm going to burst your bubble right now. I am also up for this ball. But the reason that I chose this key moment is because what happens over the next 10 seconds. So, you're actually going to get a pretty decent touch. He's going to aerial that down. Right here, a little bit of a touch. Another touch from the blue team. And you have a breakaway in on goal. So, traditionally, it's not quite what was supposed to happen, but it works out in the end. So I'll ask, is there anything you would do differently in that situation? Are you glad that you went up for it, or should you have let your teammate take it in that scenario?
I think we got kind of lucky with the way it played out. It probably would have been better if I let you get it because you were in a way better position to clear it down, whereas me, I just had the ability to kind of clear it back into the corner.
Okay.
Not quite as ideal as clearing it out.
Okay. And that's exactly why we're looking at these. Just, I mean, everything is such split-second key moments, key decisions that, you know, sometimes it's just how the ball bounces. That one bounces a little bit over you. That's fine. It's shot by your teammate just off. He didn't touch it. I mean, we're all over the place at this moment, but that's just setting us up for a glorious key moment number 3, 5 seconds away. Great touch right there. I want to know, Puff Chaddy right here. This ball's coming off wall. What are you thinking? Is your mind like, hey, I'm going to pop this in? Do you want to carry it? Do you want to bring it down? Do you want a 360 tail whip aerial melon grab Tony Hawk Pro Skater throwback? Like, what are you thinking here?
Well, I saw both of them go back towards our goal.
Okay.
And we had got the touch just over them. So I knew that none of them were probably back at this point. And of course, I had ball cam on. If I just took it off, I would have been able to see. But I was hoping to just get a touch off the top of my car and keep the forward momentum going on the ball.
Okay.
If it's a goal, that's great. I wasn't really expecting to get a goal because I'm not that good. But at least if I got some forward momentum going on it, I might be able to get it off the wall and set me up for a good shot.
Okay. All right. Do you remember what happens?
I think that's actually what happened. I think we got it off the wall and ended up getting a shot off of it.
So, right here. Little bit of a flick forward. That ball's going to bounce up perfectly. You are up and sliding that home. There's nothing they can do about it. Right. Would you do anything differently about it? You executed it perfectly.
No, I'm pretty happy with that one, actually. I mean, I guess I maybe would have just got it in the goal the first try.
Okay.
But I'm not mad about how the way that played out.
I mean, you get to flex your aerial prowess. So right here,
key moment. I get to do that.
Key moment number 4. I'm going to say it. You look like you're in trouble right here in this moment. He bangs it off wall. It's flying. You know goal's right behind you. Are you panicking right here?
I shouldn't be, but I probably am.
Okay.
I'm not very good at these. When I'm kind of like stationary and the ball comes off the wall towards me,
okay.
I usually undershoot it, or it's usually what happens if I just undershoot it. Okay. I think that's maybe what I did too.
All right, so let's take a look. You're up, and they are going to get the goal.
Hey, look at that.
Now, before I play it out, is there anything you noticed when you were going up for that ball?
Well, I went up kind of late, so I ended up having to like go upside down and go backwards a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I could have flipped my car and tried to be right side up, or got up a little bit sooner so I didn't have to go backwards at all.
Perfect. So I'm actually, again, the whole idea of my series is not coaching. I want people to identify the key moments that happen in a match and be able to kind of give themselves coaching sessions. But you said it right there. Maybe you could have gone up faster. So right here, this ball's coming up. If you watch your boost, if you listen, you're going to kind of feather your boost. And you might have been able to get there. So that's just one thing I wanted to see if you would notice in hindsight. But
I don't know if I boost jumped at all either, so that's something I want to do differently.
Okay.
I think I just jumped and then boosted.
All right. I mean, well, here we go, man. We're a minute away from a minute away from key moment number 5. You've got 4 down. They're now tied at 3. Are you becoming nervous knowing that, hey, this is the match we're going to use? A minute 30 to go. Everything's on the line. I mean, it's basically RLCS, World Championships, 250 grand on the line. None of my viewers know that. Are you nervous at all?
I'm totally nervous. If I
Okay.
lose this, I'm uninstalling.
All right. Fantastic. Well, if you watch the first part of the video, you're going to know how this ends. No spoilers, but he did turn off his game real quick. Just kidding. There's another touch right there. It is very nail-bitey, though. Is that a factor at any point?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a factor.
Okay.
Play a little more try hard, like it gets like this.
Okay. So I'll ask this because it's a question that I don't ask, but knowing that you're recording this and you're planning on watching it back, is that influencing your decisions? Are you a little bit more passive?
I wouldn't say it was necessarily influencing my decisions. I would say maybe affecting my decisions.
Okay.
It's like you said, you told me that this is the one that we're going to use, so of course you want to do good. But
True.
yeah.
Well, here we are. 32 seconds to go. We're up 1. And your teammate is now, I'm going to say, overcommitted in the corner. I'm going to play this out. I'm going to pause it here in just a key moment. I'm going to ask you what's going through your mind. So right here. Ball's up. Little touchdown right here. Take a look. There's a lot of people moving towards our goal. What are you thinking right here?
Well, I saw that it was between me and Omni here, and I saw that both of them were going back towards our goal, but you were kind of in the middle between them. So I think what I was hoping was I could get a little touch on this and kind of bump it back to you.
Okay. Do you think that's what happens?
I think that is what happens.
Okay.
I can't remember, but I thought that's what happened. We'll see.
I'm going to say half right, half wrong. We're going to play it out. There's a 50 that goes back into our corner. Your teammate is going to be there for a little bit of a touch, and then you're going to start to play this ball out. That's a great pass. Your teammate honestly felt like the ball should have gone a different direction, but that's neither here nor there. And we're about 10 seconds away. This game is going to end with one more close call, but we are going to get the W. So, Puff Chaddy, I asked 2 questions before the end of every single Rocket League decision making. Are you ready?
Ready. Let's do it.
Number 1, is there anything you would change from your gameplay within this game that we just watched?
Yeah, there's a few things I would have changed. Well, the first obvious one would be that I probably would have let you get that ball, or get that clear that I tried to put in the corner. I would have let you take that one since I knew that you were back there now. Some of the questionable kind of passes, that last one was actually kind of questionable in itself, trying to get a back pass to you. Yeah, there's definitely a couple things that I would have changed.
Okay. And then number 2, overall, are you happy with the decisions that you made in the game? Not necessarily the mechanics or the positioning or all of that stuff, but your ideas, your decisions to go for certain things. Are you happy with those?
Honestly, I'd say it's probably about 50-50, if I'm being honest. I think I'm happy with the way that some of my decisions were. Looking at some of my positioning and some of my judgment calls on some of these other ones, I'm not as happy with those, but
Okay. And then I alluded to it a little bit as we were making our way through the second part of the video. But having done this before, do you feel like it's easier to identify these little moments that happened in the game? Like, did you notice things outside of the 5 moments that I chose? I know I talk a lot, but was it easier to kind of have a feeling of what was to come?
yeah, I think so. And there's definitely a couple moments that I saw in here that weren't mentioned, thankfully. because I feel like there were also questionable calls on me, like that last play that we had just watched, the one that you said was kind of a nail biter, where it looks like I went up to try to basically block a shot,
Mm-hmm.
and I just missed, and if he would have put that shot on target, it probably would have been a goal and tied it up.
It is a game of millimeters. There's no doubt about it. I'm gonna call you Puff Chaddy one more time, and then I'm gonna start referring to you as how I know you. But Chad, I appreciate you coming on. We've talked about this before, but I want to bring it up one more time. You create your own music quite often for this channel. Please do me a favor and plug that one more time, just because I think you deserve some more recognition.
Thanks, dude. So mostly FYN-S on Spotify. So FYN-S. Everybody thinks it's called Fins. You can call it Fins if you want. That's fine too. But yeah, it's kind of like I do like electronic music, some kind of chill music. Sometimes I make hip hop music.
Yeah.
It all depends.
I think it's perfect to game to, especially Rocket League. It has a great vibe about it. I'm going to do my best to get that Spotify link down below. You also have a YouTube. I will make sure that is linked one more time. And then is there anything else that you want to say before we take off, before my final thoughts?
Are you happy with your decisions?
Am I happy? I also had quite a few questionable things that I would take back. I really would. Quite often at this rank, I'm normally a little bit higher, so I feel like I could maybe do a little bit more, and I also need to remember that I have a teammate. It's true. So, great question. Thank you. For everyone else, let's talk about my final thoughts, what we can take away from this game. All right, time for some final thoughts. Let's jump into it real quick. Number one, Chad and I talked about what it's like to come back after a year, and I think that's so beneficial because as you watch your replay spread out over time, you begin to see these tendencies that you do. If they're bad, you can correct them. If they're good, you can expand on them. Number two, hindsight really is 20/20. We saw at the end of this video quite a few times he wishes that he could do things a little bit different. He was comfortable with some of his decisions, but not all of them. Going back and watching your own replay really, really, really helps. It does. And then last but not least, the benefits of fast aerialing. If he fast aerials, he might be able to get to that save attempt. That was key moment number 3, I believe. And honestly, it'll just help with shot placement and power as you progress up through the ranks. So, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up down below. Comment on anything and everything you saw within the video. I want to see more people involved. And lastly, subscribe for more of these. We have one more next week with a special guest. But for now, I'm just going to let this music play out and enjoy some of Chad's work. Take care.